Monster Talk. I don't know if this is Monster Talk number 2. This is second monster. So, welcome. I'm Dave, aka DeSurf, and this is Monster Talk. Today's monster is... Oh, this is last week's monster. That was the Ettin. And actually what we've done before, we went through the Ettin. We've played an adventure, and I will get that adventure actually written up so that you can get it on my Discord. But Ettin, you are done. We are now doing the troll. If we get a close up of the troll here. There we go. Let's get the troll. The troll. All right. So the idea is, who is the troll? Let's see. Is that guy all painted? This guy's painted more. Who are you, Mr. Troll? What makes you tick? Actually, poor little troll, I think, hasn't gotten a bad rap, but he's like... It's not as popular as he used to be. Mr. Troll used to be one popular monster. He was actually one of the first monsters put into the D&D rule set in the the white box. Actually, before that, when it was just, the pamphlets and such. And actually, you know what? I should have done this, and I didn't think of it. He might even be in chainmail. I have a copy of that, and that would have been impressive to show, huh? I put down a thing of a chainmail, but chainmail being the precursor man-to-man fantasy rules, or the fantasy supplement in man-to-man tabletop miniatures rules. But I thought, you know what? No. I had a mask that I wasn't gonna wear actually, and just thought of it though, and I was like, originally Monster Talk was gonna be me talking to a monster, which, well, there you go. It's kind of happening. Let me get a drink here. Set that over here. So, Mr. Troll, what makes you tick? And actually, let me take some of these Ettin tiles, which I don't know if you've seen before, which you can snap together really quick, which also make an excellent coaster. So here's Mr. Troll, and actually, I don't know if anybody's ever seen or what you guys do for your monster sheets. I like to have things that I can hook over my you can't see that, over my, what's that thing called? DM screen, right? So I normally would have my DM screen up here, hiding behind it. And on top of that DM screen, I would hang this. You'd see this side of it right up here. Let's make camera 1 big for a second. What you would do... Oh, come on, camera 1. Make yourself big. I have a hard time getting to grab it. There it is. It's not letting me make it big. Anyway, so you'd take that, and on the back side of it are all the stats. So I just hang it on my sheet. So if anyone's interested in that, we'll talk about that another time, maybe on accessories. But right now, it might be nice to go over his stats. And I can write some of those stats right here while he looks on. So there's the monster. There he is. That's the one right there. So what you see up on the little slideshow up above. And this miniature came from Legends of Drist Adventure Series set of board games. And that was based on 4th edition. It's a fun game. Don't hate it. But yes, it's based on 4th edition. But let's hear about Mr. Monster here, Mr. Troll. Let's flip open here. See what he is here at 5th edition. I'm looking around. I realize I didn't bring my reading glasses, but I should be alright. Troll. Born with horrific appetites, trolls eat anything they can catch. You look better over here. Mr. Troll, eat anything you can catch. If we're going to talk to you, you should be like that. And since people aren't beating down the doors right now to get in and hear me talk, I have time to do this. You're everything I hope for. Oh, and I didn't check if it's the 215-ish. Yeah, it's 215-ish, so. There's Mr. Troll. So here's what we got on you, Mr. Troll. Born with horrific appetites, trolls eat anything they can catch and devour. They have no society to speak of, but they do serve as mercenaries to orcs, ogres, ettins, hags, and giants. As payment, trolls demand food and treasure. Trolls are difficult to control, however, doing as they please even when working with more powerful creatures. Regeneration. Smashing a troll's bones and slashing through its rubbery hide only makes it angry. A troll's wounds close quickly. If the monster loses an arm, a leg, or even its head, those dismembered parts can sometimes act with a life of their own. A troll can even reattach severed body parts, untroubled by its momentary disability. Only acid and fire can arrest Only acid and fire can arrest the regenerative properties of a troll's flesh. The trolls, enraged, will attack individuals, making acid and fire attacks against them above all other prey. So that tells you something as a DM. When you're running a troll, if people start throwing fire or lighting it or whatever, and there's a group of people, instead of rolling randomly to see where it's going to fight, it's going to focus on the people that are doing that to it. There are a thing called troll freaks. Their regenerative capabilities make trolls especially susceptible to mutation. Although uncommon, such transformations can result from what the troll has done or what has been done to it. A decapitated troll might grow 2 heads from the stump of its neck, while a troll that eats a fey creature might gain 1 or more of that creature's traits. I think that stems from after 1st edition. People started adapting and changing things, and that's a pretty cool thing. If you look at the original monster tables, they showed up at a couple different levels, and they would just usually add a couple trolls, but there were also people adding different bits and pieces, like the 2-headed troll, which came in the Fiend Folio, I think. And also, I have it actually in an adventure that I found from one of the Treasure Map series, I think it was. There's a variant, Loathsome Limbs. Some trolls have the following trait, Loathsome Limb. Whenever a troll takes at least 15 slashing damage at one time, roll a d20 to determine what else happens to it. 1 to 10, nothing. 1 to 14, 1 leg is severed from the troll, if it has any legs left. If 15 to 18, 1 arm is severed, if it has any arms left. 19 or 20, the troll is decapitated, but the troll dies only if it can't regenerate. If it dies, it does so does the severed head. And I realize I don't have any music going, which I tend to like. Have a wee bit of music in the background for me to listen to. Hey, bow, bow, bow. Let me see if I can crank that up a little louder for you. I don't know why my mixer has so many things on there, but hey. No, this night. Okay, Mr. Troll. So, if a troll finishes a short or long rest without reattaching a severed limb or head, the part regrows. At that point, the severed part dies. Until then, a severed part acts on the troll's initiative and has its own action and movement. A severed part has AC 13, 10 hit points, and the troll's regeneration trait. A severed leg is unable to attack and has a speed of 5. That's 5 feet, so you could also look at that as a speed of 1. That depends on how you look at these things. A severed arm has a speed of 5 feet and can make one claw attack on its turn, with disadvantage on the attack roll unless the troll can see the arm and its target. Each time the troll loses an arm, it loses a claw attack. In other words, it still has the attack. It's just the hand has the attack instead. If the head is severed, it loses the bite attack, and it's blinded unless the head can see it. It can make a bite attack, but only against a target in its space. The troll's speed is halved. If it's missing a leg, it loses both legs, it falls prone. If it has both legs, it can crawl. With only one arm, it can still crawl, but its speed is halved. With no arms or legs, its speed is 0, and it can't benefit from bonuses to speed. Fairly basic. So, Mr. Troll. Let me do this for you, Mr. Troll. Oh man, I'm sorry, Mr. Song. But I just got something. There we go. So, Mr. Troll, I will fill out a form for you. Darling, but I just got... Okay. Here we put large. Large is chaotic evil. Is a knit. Where's your initiative? Oh, I guess he has no bonus, so it's just his dex, which is +1. His AC. His keen sense of smell. He has regeneration, multi-attack. He has bites and claws. His armor class is his natural armor, and it's 15. Okay. Strength 18. Gives him +4. His dex is 13. Gives him a +1. His con is a 20. Gives him a +5. Intelligence is 7. You can see my sheet here. These colors are because I have crappy inkjet. They're supposed to be color coded, so I have these custom cards that have so you can tell the saves and things like that are the same color, and it makes it quick and easy to identify stuff. Hit points 84. I'll put it as 8d10 plus 40. Which could be 84. Speed for Mr. Troll is 30 feet. He has perception of +1. Dark vision for how many feet? 60 feet. The passive passive percept of 11. He speaks. I'll put that down here. Language. Actually, I wish well, anyway. I'll put this regeneration down here. Languages, he's got Giant. Now, in the first editions, he doesn't. Well, we'll get to that. First editions, they have this trolleys type thing. Challenge rating of 5. 1,500, 1,800 experience points. Now, here I have a little set of boxes for his attacks, but for here I'll put. He has regeneration. Talking about my regeneration. Which is 10 a turn. And I thought that started after the third hit, but let's see. At the start of his turn. Okay. Generation. +10 per turn. Alright. He also has Keen Smell. I'll put that here. Keen Smell. Which allows him advantage on Wisdom and Perception checks that rely on smell. So he has multi-attack. His first attack. He has 2 claws and a bite. The claws are at +7. And then his bite is also +7. And the claws are 2d6 +4. 2d6 +4. And the bite is 1d6 +4. 1d6 +4. And there is first edition, or 5th edition Troll. So how does that compare to first edition Troll? First edition Troll. He's on page 97. Here he is on old first edition Troll here. Look at that. It's a magnet on there. First edition Troll. There we go. So armor class was 4, so that means it was kind of like, I said it was like armor class 14. He's now at 15, so that's about the same. Moving of 12 inches. That's similar. 6 plus 6. Hit dice are 6, which would be 68 plus 6, so that's less hit points. 3 attacks. 1d8, or no. 5 to 8. That is what? A d4 plus 4. So it was 1d4 plus 4 for its claws, and looks like a d12 plus 1. Oh, 2 to 12, so that was just 2d6. Chaotic Evil, large, 9 feet plus. Trolls are horde carnivores. So, Mr. Troll, in the beginning, you were just a horde carnivore, found in nearly every clime. They are feared by most creatures, as a troll knows no fear and attacks unceasingly. Their sense of smell is very acute, their infravision is superior, and their strength is very great. So, they used to have longer dark vision. Its dark vision used to be 90, now it's 60. I'm not sure why. I mean, I understand they'll be balancing things out to keep the game balanced. But I mean, I don't think you should change a creature's thing. Maybe up his rating, but don't. I mean, if he was born with 90 feet, why does he now have 60 feet? What happened to them? What happened to you, Mr. Troll, that lost your vision? Troll attacks with his clawed forelimbs and its great teeth. A troll is able to fight 3 different opponents at once. 3 melee rounds after being damaged, a troll will begin to regenerate. Well, he regenerates faster now. I turn that way. Yeah, it looks onto the board, right? Regeneration repairs damage at 3 hit points per round. This regeneration includes the rebonding of severed members. I don't know if I want to put it that way. You get your members redone. Nice. The loathsome members of a troll. Members of a troll. No, I guess that's the arms. The loathsome members of a troll have the ability to fight on, even if severed from the body. A hand can claw or strangle, a head bite, etc. In other words, you used to not have full arms that would cut off. You'd have a different table, probably. Total dismemberment will not slay a troll, for its parts will slither and scuttle away. Rejoin, and the troll will arise whole and ready to continue combat. To kill a troll, a monster must be burned or immersed in acid. Any separate pieces, being treated in the same fashion as they create a whole again in 3 to 18 rounds. Their description, which the DM was given in first edition. Troll hide is a nauseating moss green, mottled green and gray, or putrid gray. The writhing, hair-like growth upon a troll's head is greenish black or iron gray. The eyes of a troll are dull black. Sounds like they have shark eyes. Remember Quint in Jaws? Get those doll's eyes. Black doll's eyes. Lifeless eyes. Holy moly. So then in second edition, we get given this. We have full page, new photo. Here's our new troll. Looking pretty scary, right? But we've also been now given troll 2-headed, freshwater and saltwater. Although when freshwater and saltwater, they're called scrags. Also, second edition was so good for the Monstrous Compendium, right? I've mentioned this before. I'll probably do it every Monster Talk. See that big, big booklet over there? That was all. That was one edition of the Monstrous Compendium, which. Let's see if I can refocus now. That Monstrous Compendium had loose leaves, and so each monster had just a ton of data on it, which is just really wonderful. It really is. Let me see if I can. There we go. Now then. What was the difference? He now has an AC of 4. That's the same. Damage attacks. His damage is different on his bite now. His bite now does 5 to 12. Which means 1d4 plus 4? No. It can't be 5d4, so let's see. A d8 plus a d4? No. 2d4 plus 3? No, that make it 11. What is 5 to 12? What range is 5 to 12? If it's 3d4, that would be 3 to 12. A 2d6 is 2 to 12. A d6 plus 4 would be 5 to 10. A d6 plus a d4 plus 2 would be 4 to 12. I have no idea what they're getting at. Never seen a 5 to 12. We'll figure that out another time. Here's trolls are still horde carnivores, found in all climes. Grows to the feet of 9 feet or more. And I'm not gonna read the whole thing here because no one's here right now, so maybe I'll add that in a post mix. Trolls walk upright. Gait is uneven when running. These are all cool things to describe when you're describing how a troll works, or when doing theater of the mind. Trolls attack with 2 clawed hands and their bite. Due to their agility, trolls can direct these 3 attacks at multiple opponents. In rare case that a troll wields a weapon, it attacks with a +5 damage bonus. That's because back here they didn't give them stats, and they didn't give them ability scores, so it wouldn't be obvious. But there you go with +5. So if you're going to +5, I'm still trying to figure out how they get 5 to 12. It's something adding 4. It's a D8 plus 4, isn't it? Okay, so it does a D8 plus 4 for its bite. Incapacitated trolls continue to regenerate and will stand up and fight as soon as they have positive hit points. This changes throughout the series, or the editions. Sometimes it doesn't come up until it has 10 hit points. You see that at different times. 24 hours for a limb to reconnect. Fire and acid still doing the stuff. No fear of death. And they'll hurl stones. Their society, they survive in all these climates, but prefer dense forests and subterranean locales as bright sunlight hurts their eyes. Trolls suffer no combat penalties because of this. This brings up an interesting point. D&D trolls have no problem with sunlight. Apparently, it hurts their eyes, but it doesn't. It doesn't hurt how they don't freeze or turn to stone. The Tolkien troll turns to stone. The original Norse Scandinavian one, some of them turn to stone if they're like, well, there's a stone outcrop and you decide it looks like a being, they might call that a troll. But and there's actually lots of lore on the troll, but maybe we'll bring that up another time when we get people to bounce these ideas off of. Trolls in 2nd edition live in small packs of 3 to 12 trolls. Oh, there's a great what this thing? I have from Treasure Chest, I think it was, which is a book of treasure maps. It's either from that one or no, here it is. Treasure Tales by Lauren Coleman. I think that's the one where we have an adventure. There it is. A Priest's Woes, which was cool. Where they'd have this series of, here you can see here, this is the picture of A Priest's Woes. They would give you this picture for the handout for your PCs and information for them to read. So information for them to read here, and then they give you a pairing, which would be a map for you to have as a DM with, there's the troll stats and the information, things like that. Really awesome set of stuff. It's funny, if you were a D&D player back then, before the net, you tended to have lots more D&D stuff. You still have more stuff now than you have time to play a lot of times, but back then, you really had more stuff than you had time to play. Trolls living in small packs. Duties of a troll pack chieftain are few. She, because they're the women troll lead them. She leads them on nightly forages, loping along, sniffing the air for prey. If a scent is caught, the trolls charge off, tearing through the undergrowth and bounding over rocks, racing to get there first, and letting out a great cry once the prey is spotted. In return for being the hunt leader, the she-troll gets her choice of mates in the pack. Females give birth to a single troll about once every 5 years. When you think about it, they can just regenerate, so it's a little bit odd, but anyway. Trolls have ravenous appetites. 10% of troll packs that are encountered are led by a she-troll. Trolls prey on all but the most powerful creatures. They greatly respect and fear dragons, particularly the red and black ones, and you can guess why. Sickly green blood of a troll is used by alchemists to manufacture both poison, antidotes, and healing potions. The blood from one troll can make up 3 such potions of one type or another. The blood of one troll is valued at 400 gold pieces or more. Well, look at that. That is a cool little tidbit. Blood of troll yields healing potion stuff. Okay. Use that for hooks and stuff for adventures, right? You can get have a high level mage or a potion maker or something. There's the 2-headed one, the freshwater one, and the saltwater one. I will put this back in here, and I will look at 3rd edition. No, probably not, because it's... Oh, that's right. So let's see what 3rd edition says about Troll Man. I've got some pictures of 2nd or 3rd edition trolls up on the... right next to me there, see? Oh, let's put 1st edition back up here, because that's the money shot, right? Yeah, the money shot there. What? Well, I have that guy out. I should make a note to take camera close up and actually trim something off the sides. Make a new filter. And crop the sides. How about... take some off the side, then we can put him here and we have a nicer looking, a cleaner looking setup. And we can take camera 3, increase it a bit if we wanted. Alright, 3rd edition. Treant troglodytes. Troll. What we got for 3rd edition troll? Yeah, COVID. Large giant, 6d8s plus 36. Okay, so that's about the same. Or is it? No, he was 6. He's now same hit dice, which was what level they were. Okay, plus 6. So that's the same. He was 6d8 plus 6, which actually translated into a d8 plus 6 times 6. So that's what this is. Plus 2 dex. They give him initiative plus 2. He's now, but now in 5th edition he's plus 1, so they've slowed him down a bit. Speed 30, that's the same. AC 18. How's that translate over? 3rd edition AC 18 to 15. Anybody know that offhand? Let's see. Conversion. Ability scores, details. Armor class. Quick conversions. Armor class. 19 minus the creature's AC. I think that's 1st edition. First 3 editions. So you could take 19 minus... No, that's not right. 18. What am I in? Not in 4th edition. What the hell am I in here? I got so many monster manuals that sometimes it's like I gotta remember what I'm doing here. Imagine all the people. First printing. That's why this is falling apart. You know that, right? Suppose. But let's see. DC 18. In 3rd edition, you can use monster stats included in the adventure guide. Monster distribution of this edition is fairly close That in 5th edition. Alright. Most 3rd edition stats. Let's see. AC may be AC or 20% lower than in the 3rd position. Okay, so that's why he's a little bit lower. Attack roll modifiers are appropriately ability score +3. Saving throws. Huh. Alright, that's not so much different. So he's starting to evolve here. Attacks 2 claws, 1 bite. Damage 1d6 +6. Bite was 1d6 +3. So his bite's less powerful than it was. His special attacks, he can rend, which is new. He has regeneration. Dark vision is still 90 feet. Super strong abilities, strength 23. He's now strength 18, so they weakened him up. Dex 14, they made him not as good there. Con 23, okay. What's funny is the little adapting thing says, oh, okay, yeah. You have to drop it down to 22 in D&D 5th edition. Feats, alertness, and iron will. Any climate. Challenge rating was 5 in 3rd edition. Solitary or a gang of 2 to 4. Standard treasure, always chaotic evil. Advancement by character class. Still horrid carnivores in all climates. Ravenous appetites. 9 feet tall, weighing 500 pounds. Rubbery hide, moss green, mottle green, and gray, putrid gray. Which goes back to 1st edition. Hair-like mass growing out of a skull, usually greenish black, iron gray. Long and ungainly legs. 3-toed feet. Wide, powerful hands with sharpened claws. Appear thin and frail, but possess surprising strength. Females are larger and more powerful than their male counterparts. Walk upright but hunched. Hunch forward with sagging shoulders. Their gait is uneven, and when they run, the arms dangle and drag along the ground. For this seeming awkwardness, trolls are very agile, and they speak giants, and that's where they first get a language. They used to just speak this weird trollish, and now they're speaking giant. In combat, no fear of death. Launch into combat. That's the same. The rend is new. If troll hits with both claw attacks, it latches onto the opponent's body and tears the flesh. This attack immediately deals an additional 2d6 plus 9 points of damage. Regeneration, fire and acid damage. Deal normal damage to a troll. If a troll loses a limb or body part, lost portion regrows in 3d6 minutes. The creature can reattach a severed member instantly by holding it to the stump. Hey, Fables RPG! Thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. You are a TTRPG in the making. Oh, yes, yes. The awesome one with where you assemble your character. I guess I'll leave it like that. I think I've heard about it. I'd love to come see it while you're streaming. Love to see that. I will. When's your next stream? And I will definitely come by. And I will even make a note of it in my Discord. But I'll look for that too. So if you like to lurk. So in 3rd edition, mentions fire and acid dealing normal damage. It doesn't mention that it's not regeneratable. So they've probably not written it very well there. Because they don't list That's what they list as regeneration. So apparently in 3rd edition, fire deals its normal damage. It doesn't say other things don't deal normal damage. Let's see if it lists resistances. It doesn't, I don't believe. So yeah, I'm kind of taking this through how he changes from first, well, actually 5th edition back to 1st, and now we're working back up to 5th. Scrag. So a Scrag we found in 2nd edition. Those are the ones in the water. Scrags are a maritime variety of troll that dwell in any body of water, in any climate. On land, Scrags have a speed of 20, and their swimming speed is 40. They regenerate only if mostly immersed in water. Oh, that's cool. Scrags are otherwise identical to their land-bound cousins. Okay, so that's 3rd edition troll. What would be neat, oh, you know what? I think I have a 1st edition piece of lead somewhere. But I don't think it's close enough for me to find it. Because it's got to be a long way off. So let's move to 4th edition, and have we found out in past, anybody knows anything about D&D knows you're supposed to hate 4th edition. Don't hate it. It made a really good board game. All the Adventure Series games are kind of based upon it. But when we start comparing stats from 1st edition and 5th edition and 3rd edition, you can see how 1st edition was kind of, I mean, it was raw. It was great. I had the 3 booklets, and that was even before the monster manual, and they were just a list of stats. Sometimes you got a little bit of a description. Wait a minute, is that too much glare on that? I wonder if that's, if I can get rid of the glare. No, the glare is up on this. It's point in having all that 1st edition stuff if you can't see it. But anyway, 4th edition turns into kind of a bizarre set of you're just like, wow, how did they make this? Where did this leap come from? Because we go from an AC of, well, 4, which meant like 16, to, or actually I think they called it, to take a 1st edition to 5th edition, you took AC 19 minus the AC, so you would have had a 15, which is exactly right for a troll here. As we put it right here, see, 15. But, which if you haven't seen this, these hang these over things, like your DM screen. So it's got 2 sides. Put your picture of the monster on one side. Anyway. So they went, you know, from AC 8, 15 to, let's see what they call him here. In 4th edition, you now have an AC of 20. Everything's just off the chart. 100 points for its hit points. Frenzied strikes and troll healing, which I guess is regeneration. So I mean, it's they try to put it back into their new system, which the system is actually kind of fun as a, you know, as a tabletop game, which, you know, and you could, no, I'm getting caught into playing with these. These are so fun. There we go. Magnetic Ettin stones are just amazing. I think I'll have to shout out to Ettin stones every episode. I wish I should be sponsored by it. But let's see. Troll. So Troll in 4th edition. Troll eats anything that moves, from grubs to humans, and rightly feared for its ravenous appetite, feral cunning, and remarkable regenerative power. Feral cunning? Okay, so they started out, they were really stupid. How are they now? They're cunning. Doesn't sound like that stupid. Trolls can be trained to serve in military units. Highly adaptable and resilient, they are found just about anywhere in any climate. So this is a big shift. A big shift to these solitary things that lived in any environment and would work for things like some Ettins and things if you paid them in gold, treasure and meat, food. But they weren't very well controlled because they didn't have any fear and they would just wander off and do whatever the hell they wanted. Now it says they're good in an army, which is a strange change. And they have whole big encounter groups of trolls. This is, I mean, it's big. Troll lore. A character knows the following information with a successful nature check. Trolls hunt most other living creatures, are unconcerned about the size or numbers of their prey. They regenerate quickly even after they are, quote, slain. Their regeneration is so powerful, in fact, that trolls can regrow severed body parts. That's the same. Only fire and acid will kill a troll, and trolls have a healthy fear of fire and acid for these reasons. Trolls travel in packs and without any migration pattern. Okay, they move until they discover an environment rich with prey, which time they create a lair. Trolls then pillage the area. So I like this information. They've taken some of the stuff from 2nd edition. When trolls lair near an outpost or settlement, the result is the same. The trolls hunt everything living until every living creature is devoured. War trolls are more intelligent than the common troll, having been bred to wield weapons. Okay, so here's why. They've been bred to wield weapons, wear armor, and employ tactics. War trolls typically travel from battle to battle in mercenary bands, selling their services to the highest bidder. War trolls are often fickle in their services, turning on a patron if the other side tempts it with a greater payment. Fell trolls are voracious carnivores that delight in gorging on humanoid prey. One or two such creatures can easily wipe out an entire village and devour all of its inhabitants in a single night. Yikes, so we don't want the fell trolls around. Troll tactics. A troll wades into the midst of its enemies, relying on regeneration to keep it alive. Trolls are not clever, and they usually attack whichever enemy last did them the most harm. Trolls fight to the death except when confronted by enemies using fire or acid. Trolls usually try to flee from such foes once bloodied. Bloodied in 4th edition means I think it's haven't taken a third of your points. I don't remember now. I learned 4th edition for a while and now I don't know if it's lucky for me that I learned at 1st edition, played 2nd edition for a long time, was low on my playing during 3rd edition just because of my life situation, and almost missed 4th edition but started to get back into D&D, so I bought the stuff and played, just I think once with just my kid. So I was the DM, so if I was doing it wrong, I didn't know. And then I went to 5th edition because I started the DM next playtesting, and yeah, so I missed most of the 4th. But I like some of the products. I can bash it with the best, but love me some D&D art, whatever form it comes in, right? War trolls control the battlefield with their sweeping strike power and their threatening reach. They don't like to give ground, using blood pursuit to keep after enemies that try to shrink away. War trolls make claw attacks only when deprived of their weapons or swords, let's see. And so 4th edition had lots of little cards to use that you could do like 1 or 2 during an encounter. A couple of these things you could do once a day. and some things you could do at will or any time. So that gave things a few more specific powers or specific tactics or abilities to do. Now you can just kind of cover that with an improv and a good DM. Fell trolls, these are these giant ones. Hit points, 360 hit points. They're bloodied when they get half of that. Regeneration 15. So that's getting a lot of stuff. Fell trolls charge into battle, tearing foes apart with his claws and knocking them about with backhand slam attacks. Its backhand slam is reach 3, so that's 15 feet, plus 21 versus reflexes, and it does 2d6 plus 7 damage, and the target is pushed 4 squares, knocked prone. So it's crazy nuts. Trolls are usually encountered with other trolls, though sometimes brief alliances can spring up between trolls and other monstrous humanoids, such as ogres and onis. Of all the troll varieties, war trolls are likely to be encountered in the wildest. Let's try again. Of the troll varieties, war trolls are likely to be encountered in the widest variety of groups because they'll work with any creature for pay. Level 9 encounter would be 2,000 experience points would be in 4th edition. 3 trolls of level 9 brutes, which is your basic troll, and 2 Destrakans, which are level 9 artillery. Okay, yeah, this is where they just had all these mix of stuff. So that's level 4, or level 4. 4th edition. 5th edition, which I'm really liking even the more I play it. I mean, I love 1st edition. Just love 1st edition. I mean, I grew up with it. 2nd edition was an adult with 2nd edition from, and I guess maybe even college or whatever. But yeah, love 2nd edition. 3rd was fine. I didn't need to switch from 2nd to 3rd. But anyway, 5th, I'm digging it. I think it's elegant. I think you can work in a lot of that. I use a lot of my 1st edition modules and stuff, and like that 1st edition or the 2nd edition thing I showed earlier about where you get a treasure map and go. I can use that, easily adapted. Here is, I've got these. Have you ever seen these? These are Deck of Encounters. Yeah. The Deck of Encounters. So that's a whole box full of cards like this, right? These kind of cards that are really cool. They actually come with little things that tell you. Actually, there's a decoding. Where's that? There it is. Icons. So that thing there says it's subarctic. I don't know what that one says. Scrub, I guess. Subarctic scrub. On the back side, we got, this is the danger level of medium. Right, so here's subarctic scrub, medium danger. It's a monster encounter. Strength is important. And actually, here's one. Low danger. Temperate planes, although these could go anywhere. Monster encounter, because there's trolls. Intelligence needed. This one is medium danger, temperate climate in a dungeon. You see in there, there's a, that shows it's a dungeon. Strength needed. It's a monster. Oh, where you can get more information in the monster manual. experience point for the thing. This is a fun one. Low danger, temperate, hills or swamp. Wisdom is needed, and the encounter is kind of with an NPC, but it's not. It's really fun. It starts. This occurs in a lightly forested area near a swamp. The swamp lies in the base of some hills, into which several mines have been expertly excavated. When the PCs arrive, they see a group of 4 trolls march out of the swamps. The trolls carry picks and shovels and sing a dwarven marching song as they head towards the caves. But see, these are cool little things. They come with the quick stats for the trolls here at the bottom, right? So you can get these cards. You can organize them in danger levels or climate levels. Really cool. I like this one too, Paladin Trolls. Maybe I'll run one of these next week. Or, you know what I can do? I'm going to take one of these and I'll just do a quick... I'll transfer it into 5th edition, because that would be fun. And here's that. So that's a troll, basically. I'm actually making an adventure for it, or an encounter, like every time. I'm also working on my my encounter for the Ettin. Should be printed up and ready to go on my Discord within a few days. I'm just working on making the map look a little better, but I might just go back to just the quick sketch. And other than that, I think that's Monster Talk today. I think on Sunday we will run something that has to do with a troll, or I might before that run a board game, the 4th edition based Legend of Driss board game, D&D Adventure Series game with these trolls, and clip that in, and maybe I'll even make some troll music. You know what? That might be fun. I might start doing that, and maybe I'll release it bi-weekly or maybe just monthly. A packet for each. For these Monster Talks, it might be fun. Some music for the whole thing. Anyway, all sorts of things we can mess with this, because I like making music too, and I think music's a really good thing with the atmosphere for play. Sometimes in Roll20 it's a bummer, because you have picked this wonderful music, or whatever, or ambient sounds, and you find out that the guy's out, that your player's on, he's muted it, and he's not even watching, waiting for someone to tell him his turn's coming. So that's always a drag, which is why I like to play with the videos on. We have a game too that we play. It's not streamed, but it's fun just to see each other's faces and play off of it. I love that. But so those are what I'm doing. I might so keep an eye on things for when I do, like maybe show on accessories and how to come up with your own sheets like this. Again, this is really cool. It sits over the top of your DM screen like this. Look up over there. And so you just hang it on there. And so the players, I'm going to get this thing up here. Can I get that to tilt? So the players would see, and let's see if I can start sketching it a little bit. Anyway, you get the idea. You can print something out there too. But they're fun. So anyway, till next time, don't forget to wear your mask, wash your hands, and don't touch your face. Later.